Hello everyone and welcome to the new tutorial. Today we'll be going over this easy but really cool transition sequence that I made for one of my client works. So basically, without wasting any time, let's get straight to the tutorial. Okay, now when we are in After Effects, this is the timeline that we will be working on. Basically, shots that I have sequenced in the Premiere, exported to DaVinci and color graded there and imported in the After Effects. Basically, these are some normal shots following the character, zooming on it, whipping with camera, zooming in, out, and this part here that is reversing is basically the speed ramp that I have done in Premiere. So the first thing that we want to do is basically, first we want to start with the adjustment layer. We're gonna delete it right here, delete it. And what we want to do is basically, as with this tutorial is basically gonna be some freestyle type of video. Basically, I'm gonna experiment with effects that I use from the original video and apply to this tutorial, and we're gonna get with the things that will come out from this sequencing. So basically what we want to add is what I used in the original one is the pixel sort effect. There are a lot of plugins that you can basically use. I'm just gonna put this here for you to see. I forgot I'm having a different type of viewport for tutorials, so yeah, this is right. Basically we're gonna add a couple of keyframes. We're gonna add a couple of keyframes. Sort angle, it's alright. Threshold, we can increase it something like here, go a couple frames in, and we can come up with this. I think this is alright. One thing that you want to do is you're gonna basically select them, just a second, select them, press F9, go to graph editor, and you're going to do it like this, basically to speed it up and then to slow it down. So we're gonna get something like this. That's pretty cool. One thing that I used is basically exposure or hue and saturation brightness from the Sapphire plugin, but I think this exposure is gonna do really well. We're gonna crank it up something like this, go couple of frames like here, going to 0. Yes, I'm gonna F9 it, basically do the same thing that we did in the previous keyframes, and we should get something like this. These two timelines are basically the same. On the second one, when we are going to add posterize time, we're gonna create a new adjustment layer, cut it here, second, yeah, and now we're going to posterize time, add it, and we're gonna select the frame rate from maybe 13 to go to like 17 or something. So we should get something like this. I'm gonna lower it even more down to basically 9. I'm gonna delete this one to get these glitchy types of effect. And now what we can add more, one more thing that we can is basically we can add a null object, something like this, cut it, go here, cut it again. Basically we want to null object we are using basically most of the time for the scaling positioning of our footage when we want to scale in or scale out or whatever. And basically we want to take our footage, take this whiplash and connect it to the null object, because basically it's more smoother and better way to do with null object than from just a regular timeline. It's a little bit of difference, but you want to do with a null object. So we want to I'm sorry, I didn't do this. What's the problem with this? Okay, I guess because of the posterize time it didn't let us to scale it here, only here. I'm gonna scale it something like that, go here. We want to make the starting point here to look like something like this, and we want to add, for example, we can add on adjustment layer, we can add exposure again. For example, we're not gonna repeat it, we're gonna add adjustment layer somewhere here. And what we're going to do, we're gonna put it one from other side and one on here. And on one, we're gonna take the rectangle tool and gonna hover it like this. And if you watched one of my latest tutorials, basically what I'm doing here is making this flash camera effect, which you do on flash in real time and shooting something. So basically we're gonna do here, select another one, delete it, and go to bottom side now, add exposure again, and exposure to a ton, Why I'm doing this? Because to get this smooth transition from top to bottom. So basically you're going to go here, but we're going to basically just put it in the way when the scale is up, something like this. And now it looks kind of chunky, but we're gonna add some more effects to make it more better. I'm gonna add adjustment layer like here, maybe pixel sort it again. We're going to just change the angle from sideways to down. Threshold we're gonna do also. I'm going to do like this. See, we're gonna change seed a little bit, and what we want to add is invert, basically to change a look of our footage, and maybe select it to saturation to get this red cool color, and we are getting this cool transition coming in. We can add example. I'm gonna duplicate this, and we're going to delete pixel sort, leave this, and just set it to lightness to get this white look. Get something like this maybe. Maybe blend it with original. No, we're not gonna do that. What we can do, maybe add some radial blur. Not gonna add vignette. Radial blur, something like this. Basically we are experimenting, and I'm just taking off all effects that are coming to my mind and thinking if I can apply this to this sequence. Yeah, so like look at this, radial blur does a really good job on the edges. Yeah, that's really nice. Basically I'm not gonna create new, we're just gonna duplicate this one, basically delete all of this, and we can add posterize time again to slow it down a little bit to maybe like 12 frames per second, and we are getting like this crazy glitchy footage. For this next sector we won't do nothing because we have a whip with the camera, so it's creating that seamless transition. We are not gonna do anything on this sequence, right? Or this on this sequence part. I'm gonna just play it one more time. We can add again pixel sort. I'm gonna overuse pixel sort on this tutorial because I mean it's like original effect of the original work that I posted, so it's like that themed effect that we're gonna use throughout whole video. Maybe like this. We're gonna just play it literally, going to all the way down to here to all the way up, something like this. F9. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, this looks really good. It's really chaotic editing, but a lot of people like this style of editing, and when everything is like fast-paced but also seamlessly combined, and it's working perfectly together, and basically bringing this whole edit to have some point. Basically without this seamless and similar type of movements and effects, we wouldn't get the look and pleased video like this. So this is for now. I'm gonna basically replay this a bunch of times. Standard video editing stuff. This looks good. That's great. One more thing that we can add that will be looking cool on this. We are gonna add a new adjustment. We are creating basically a ton of adjustment layers, but get used to it. It's like this classic principle of adding effects. So maybe here. No, we're gonna put it on this sequence here where I said that we won't put nothing, but I have one good effect that I remember that I was using from the original one, and it's Blobalize. Put it here, and we're gonna play with that a little bit and cut away softness. We're gonna keyframe it, put it like this, cut away, we're gonna reduce it, something like here, and we can create a cool transition with this darkness that will be going towards here like this. So yeah, we're gonna keyframe this, press F9, and we are going to place graph like this to go slowly and go to faster and faster at the end. So we're gonna close this down. Yeah, and we have this smooth, crazy transition. When we play it, it looks really good. We can add, maybe duplicate this, play with Blobalize some more, something like here. We're gonna start from here. Blob it. Why doesn't this work? Just a second. We're gonna place it like here, and it for some reason doesn't work. Maybe we need to put it on 14. Yeah, we need to set the bob layer and to select it from here. I'm gonna do it fastly like this. Cut it, but maybe new adjustment layer on top of this. Again, adding radial blur or whatever blur that you like using. I like this a lot. I'm gonna select it here. I'm gonna drop it down. Keyframe this quickly to start fast and then to end slow. And let's see how this looks. It looks alright, nothing special. Maybe add here some exposure onto it and one more effect to make it more seamless and more cooperative with
each other. So add one more adjustment layer. Like I said, this is basically like a freestyle tutorial that we are doing, and that you basically need to experiment with this kind of effects. Of course, you can't add a ton of effects and then to think that this will be look good. Maybe if you got lucky, it can be good, but most of the time you need to experiment with this a lot. So maybe adding exposure on this one or something like that. Exposure, put it here, this to 1, keyframe this again. Basically got used to this graph, make it faster. It looks kind of good. Here, maybe somewhere here we can add a null object to give more movement and motion to get going with the video. This looks like not so good, so we are going to select video and connect it to the null tree, and basically we want to boost it here, add a keyframe, and we can go to here, copy this one, paste it, and we can select this, maybe duplicate the original layer, scale this one up, or not, we need to put it under this one, scale it here, maybe add some Gaussian blur or radial blur. Let's see how this looks. Basically I'm experimenting at this point. I'm not really sure what I'm currently doing, but let's see something like this, how this is going to look. Going to place, we can copy these two and to basically add again to make this cool transition. I mean, I think I mistakenly took the wrong two, but let's see. I'm gonna put this under, but still looks good. I wanted to take these two like flashing effects, but this is also creating a cool effect, so I'm not gonna take it out. This is really good. And here we can, for example, add to finish it. We're gonna cut it here. So basically add adjustment layer, quick exposure like this, and gonna keyframe here, and let's see how this looks. I think this is all right. Yeah, this is surprisingly all right. Maybe one effect that I can add is echo to duplicate these kind of layers. This is all, of course, a lot of light right now, but we're going to set it to 30, starting intensity, lower it down, decay, echo time. I think this is all right. Yeah, you can see this echo type of effect that is working on our subject and our whole frame, basically duplicating on number 3 that we can put. We can also put on a lot of more, but the problem is with lighting. I also put exposure on this frame, and you need to like play with intensity, echoes, echo times to find your suiting effect. Echo operator add, you can play with this. Yeah, this also reduces the lighting. So basically you'll get with something like this. It's really cool. I always want to spice up and to go even step further. So basically go to horizontal, blurriness to stretch it like here, and that's even better. Even better. I'm sorry, but I want to scale this up to look even better. Basically practicing and experimenting how this looks, and yeah, that's really good. And basically I'm not gonna sauce it anymore. I'm gonna leave it like how it is, and just gonna close this some windows. One thing that you want to do, Control A, press on motion blur to have more motion and to be your video to be more smoother and well going. So this is the final shot. Just gonna play it one more time. It's really crazy, messy, but this kind of editing is really good and attractive. But when you have, let's say, in all this chaos, some reasonable follow-ups with transitions and effects that you have applied. So basically that's about it. It's not the same from the original video that I like said. I said in the first part of video, we're gonna go freestyle with this, experiment with effects. We're going to see how this looks, how we can try some new ways of bringing these effects together. So yeah, this is really chaotic, but it also looks really good. One more effect that I want to add to end, to just respect the original one effect that is really good, that played out to be really good, is basically we're gonna add one more adjustment in this part when it's zooming out or zooming in, I'm sorry. And basically effect is a CC burn film that I found out basically just experimenting with these effects, finding something that is gonna stick good with this. You're gonna keyframe it and add these black points like this. You can random seed it, but something like this, for example. And we're gonna put like that. Press U and going to 0 to get rid of it. Second, press F9. Go here, I'm gonna speed it up and then later to be slower. That's great. And you can see one more transition that brings this blackness. I'm gonna maybe one frame later. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna put it back, but anyway, this is one more cool effect that I'm gonna add and from the original work. So basically I think that it's it. I'm gonna play it one more time. Let's go. Sorry, I'm gonna increase this. And yeah, that's it. That's really cool. So yeah, basically that's it.
So basically guys, that's it about this tutorial. I hope that you learned something. This tutorial was kind of a freestyle way where I applied all the original effects from the original work that I have uploaded and basically experimented, got it with some difference of vision and basically show you some new tips and tricks how you can play with adjustment layers, adding null objects and all of these new effects that you maybe didn't know now. So basically I'm not gonna waste your time anymore, like I say in every tutorial, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.